Okay, so now we're going to talk about this. This is a worn out tie pad that normally, after the straps go, you either take it to a seamstress if they can repair it, if the rest of it's in good shape, or you throw it away. But what happens is these pads migrate from our boxing Muay Thai class over to the Kali class because they become several things that we can use. First off, it becomes what we call a thing. Just a thing that you happen to be, it represents a gym bag or a book or something you were holding in your hands. You didn't have a weapon, I don't have a stick, but I happen to be holding this thing in my daily life. And then she takes a swing at me and I can use this to stop the weapon either as she's coming in and I'm trying to get away, or as I'm trying to get in to then take away that range altogether. So this could be a shield to get me in or to get away with, especially against a knife too, not just a blunt weapon. But now, because here's the thing, we're thinking about, we're training the art, but teaching you how to fight is about learning to fight in this context. This geographical, cultural, historical context, 21st century America, urban America, to take Kali and apply it there. It means you're going to do several things, like think about what you might have at hand that you can use, improvise weapons, improvise defensive implements. You're going to think about also the fact that it can start with a weapon, but it might go to grappling, as I said earlier, or it might go to employ or require certain other skills, striking skills with the empty hands, kicks, knees, grappling, takedowns, groundwork. So that's the other thing you think about when you take this art and you say, well, how's it going to work out there if I need to use it? You wouldn't find much use if you had a very narrow, traditional kind of training and it didn't allow for any latitude, any variables. There's going to be variables. There's going to be all kinds of things that don't go right. Now, the second use of this is in a more advanced sense. Like a lot of people who train in Kali may not even realize that it isn't just sticks against sticks. It's a very broad culture, very broad history, lots of different things they would use. They use a shield. And a lot of people don't have shields, like the traditional Filipino shields are wood, kind of paneled wood, thick, and they have a handle behind there. And you can move it in, let's say you have two sticks. If somebody would just hand her your stick. Let's say she's doing just having six to start. I could be like this. And I can use that to block as I'm hitting. So you can fit it into Sinawali type patterns in addition to other things. So you could do continuous, almost two-stick motions, which are block and hit instead of hit, hit. Because you realize with a stick too, you can be block and hit, block and hit. But this also gives you just sort of a kind of a 1-2 where she throws a big 1. Now you don't have two weapons. Let's just say you have 1. If she throws a 1, I can block this and I can hit. This would be analogous to something we worked on earlier, which is with two sticks, backhand, forehand, backhand, forehand. Instead of deflecting it with a backhand with a stick, it's a backhand with the shield, which gives me the confidence knowing I can move in and hit. I've deflected her weapon, and I've got a window there where I can hit. Okay, so that can also, but it is in my left hand. So you have to think about deflecting mostly against the forehand, but you can also deflect backhands with your own backhand, or you could turn. Do a backhand again. I could turn this way as if I were doing a left inside sweep. All right, it can be a little awkward. Now you also have to choose, like I think traditionally a lot of people hold the shield this way, but you could also hold it this way if it works better for you. I could block like this and hit. This makes this deflection a lot easier, and which means like this is more like a karate, like a rising block, but it turns out it works. So there again, you can use something like an old tie pad, and since it's padded, we can actually spar this way. She can hit with force, and I can come back and hit, and hitting, and so working my way in, using this as a buffer.